be looking at educators, and in this educator section here, we're going to be really focusing on Smart Notebook today. This one here. To get to this website here, go to smarttech.com/training, or you might need to go to legacy.smarttech.com/training, just whilst we're changing over a few parts on the website as well. So within this section here, I've actually brought it up on this separate device here because I'm now using a connected computer for here. I'm using Windows or a Mac, and I'm actually using the software Smart Notebook, which you can download and have on your Windows or Mac on any computers you're using, whether at school, at home, PPA rooms, wherever you want to for that as well. So I'm going to dive into these sections here, and let's just actually open up Smart Notebook itself. So when I first open it up, you can see that there's a blank page here, and then we're going to see how we can get up and running and using with it. So looking down this part here, we're going to start by looking at create. How can I create some content within Smart Notebook? So if you're wanting to build a lesson with lots of resources, you can add new pages at the side here. If you want to bring in existing content, if I click File and Import, I can import PowerPoints, I can import PDFs, and if you want to open up any other Smart Notebook files you've got, you can also just open them up, and they'll open up in the latest version of the software as well. If you also got other interactive whiteboard files from other manufacturers, then of course you can open up those as an IWB file straight from within Smart Notebook as well. And then once you've got that up and running, you might want to add some images to it. So down the side here, if you click on the puzzle piece here, I can see that I've got an image web search. And from in there, I can find some pictures and bring those in, and they're going to be complete safe search and actually bring those images in from there as well. Or if you have got, if I go to the where someone haven't got already, and if I search for something here like ladybird, I can search for these files. Let's find an image. Let's click on this one. So this image here, click and hold, which is right click, copy image, and open up my notebook file here, click and hold, which is right click, paste, and then I've got that image there that I can move around in there. That's going to have a black image like that. If you do actually want to bring it with a transparent background as well, what you can do is save that file, save the image as, I'm just going to save it to my desktop, save, and then if I bring up that one and that one, and jump all the way back up to my desktop, what I can do now is to bring in this file here, and it'll bring it in with the images around the outside, a clean image if you like, so you can actually have the white around the background for that as well. So that's bringing in images to your notebook file. The next one is looking at adding text and shape. So I'm just going to add it on a new page. And if we're looking at new text and shape at the top there, we've got some different bits here. So if I want to add in text, if I click on this text bit here, you can see I can change all my fonts to different colors, etc., etc. If you want to change the defaults of those, that can be done in the presets tab down at the one here. And I can change all those presets based on the ones at the top there, and actually import any fonts. Any fonts that are already on your computer will show up at the top there. So when I do start typing in this box here, it will take those fonts with me for those bits and pieces there. If I'm adding in any shapes, again, there's some pre-made shapes at the top here. You could use any of those to be brought in, or looking at other shapes for those bits and pieces at the top. You've got all those, a very quick and easy access to all of those shapes and the text at the top that if you wanted to use those as well. So that's that quick way of actually starting that, creating that content there. Another way of actually bringing in those images is through your gallery at the side here. Now in my gallery, if you search for, I've got in my content, so actually within my content, I've brought in some different pictures already, like a number line. So this is a bit like the ladybird. I've had it, and then I've brought it, dragged and dropped it into my library here, and then I've got that for use for later on as well. In there, I've also made some different backgrounds. So if I wanted a file to have a background like this, I've got that all ready to go. That's by adding a shape at the top that we've looked at, by adding my text at the top, and then searching for different backgrounds as well. In this case, I searched for grid or lined, and that will just bring up some different backgrounds that I can use for that as well. If I click on the background itself and go to the presets, you can see that I changed the color of my background there, so you can change the background of your color and have that saved for you want. Once I've got that page that I want to all set up nicely, if I click on that drop down menu there, that will be able to add that page to gallery. If I add that page to gallery, it'll then appear in my gallery here, and then I can use that to create new content with those backgrounds that I want to already as well. Equally, if I wanted to add images in, if I've got this picture of this ladybird, and in my here, I can drag that, put it into there, and then that will appear in my content in there as well. So every time I want that picture, I can bring that one into that as well. So you're beginning to build up that bank of resources so you can create new content regularly for that as well. So let's move down past create, look at how to enhance. So I've got that lesson, maybe I've imported something else, I've built up some bits from the gallery as well, and how can I enhance that lesson for it? Now, in a previous video, I looked at how to sign in, and it's as simple as account, sign in, and just use your teacher email address for that one for there as well. What that will give you access to is in these activities here, a bit like a picture of a Space Invader at the top. And in these activities, you'll see an absolute wealth of these. A really easy way to learn all these is just by clicking on that little magnifying glass there. So if I click on that magnifying glass, you'll be able to see a quick preview of that activity, a fill in the blanks one, for example. It might be Wheel of Fortune type show, the game show here. And there's a few different ones in here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and make this rank order. So if I click on that one, rank order, I'm just going to make a list of things. It could be days of the week, it could be elements, the size of them, it could be times tables. I'm just going to go for now. Nice and easily typed in those times tables there. I can add a few parameters if I wish to. Clicking next, I can choose the pre-made backgrounds. I've got a nice simple one, or of course I could customize that one as well. Select that one. I can move these around a little bit. And then here I can add in an image. I can either bring one in from my computer or just search online. And then choose a background. Yep, that one. Double tap on that one, click OK. I can move that if I wish to, that's fine, and click finish. And as simple as that, I can actually create that game ready for the lesson here. So then the students can come up and drag those and put them into the right place up on the board here, wherever they wanted to. Hopefully in the right order. Well, we've got that rank order game for there as well. If I click next on here, another one you might see by the side is this yellow tick. It's also inside the Space Invader as called response. And response, if we just click a preview button here, you can see what it does. It sends out the questions to the students. They've got them on the device here. They answer them. It's more of your formative assessment. They answer them here. You can see your whole class progress at the top here. And then that is recorded as and saved as an Excel document. So you've got that hard data kind of after for that as well. And if I just go through and make this, you can see it's very similar. Which type of question do I want? Maybe it's a multiple choice. I can put my question at the top here and my answers and keep adding more and more questions. And then I've got that activity ready to send out to the students and use within the class. Looking again at this activity here, you'll see the little red mobile devices I've pitted at the side here. This is my teacher code, and this is where the students can join into it here. If the students go to this website here, hellosmart.com, they'll be asked to join as a guest or log in with their Microsoft or Google credentials. They can just go in, type in that code there, and then they can be part of this lesson. And as soon as they start here, it will actually start out and push that activity out onto their device as well. And that's the same way as I start all of those activities, including the response, the formative assessment one that we've just looked at as well. So adding in more content to this lesson, really trying to enhance that enriched lesson. I can also add in my tab here, rather than image search, I can do a video search. And when this video search here, in the same way, I can add in content there. So I'm actually bringing in that video into my lesson here, and we'll bring it in advert free. So it's all in one place. Your whole lesson is there without having to go out to a separate web address and find that. It's much easier for yourself from the flow, and obviously keeps the students on task as well for that. So moving down here, how can I really make my lesson more engaging? And we're going to look at the ones there, the same web address that we shared at the very beginning as well. I'm going to look at using the infinite clone. So I'm going to actually pick an object from my gallery down the side here, and I'm just going to pick some cubes. So bringing in a blue cube and a red and a green cube. And with this one here, I'm just going to make this one infinitely cloned. So I'm going to click on that little drop down menu at the side here, click on infinite clone. And now every time I use this one, I can actually clone it. And if it's these cubes here, for example, I can build that stack there. Maybe I'm actually going to build this one on top as well. So I'm going to infinitely clone this one. And then bring that one as the top here. Then I've got a stack of 5, and I can use that. Equally, you can do that with any other image at all. Might be with coins or anything like that, to actually infinitely clone those across it. Great for lots of activities. Obviously, loads of good maths games for that as well. So let's add in a widget to that as well. Down through my gallery at the side here, if I search for widgets, then I'm going to see lots of different ones. And some of them that you'll find here are ones like this. Might be like a dice, for an example. And then I can customize this and add any other content I want to it. I can increase the amount of dice that are available, or change it, customize, put pictures in it, or I can actually just put text in it as well, and then use that dice how I want to for that. Great for recapping sounds, if you can put different sounds in it, or for example, for the maths wise, it might be you've got different values of an amount within there, values of X, and then you're spinning that and solving the equation based on the different values of that as well. And you can see there's a few different ones: clocks, timers, spinners, pull tabs, and anything that you like. We've got that supplied. Each one, if you click on that little cog at the top there, it will just give you some settings and ways to look at for that as well. Fantastic. And the last one we're going to have a look at when we're looking at enhancing lessons is a pen tab. So if I pick up the pen in Smart Notebook, you can see there's lots of different tools that are available here. So first of all, it would just be a colour. I can just change the colour to that. And if I want to change my finger to something, equally my finger will be that tab as well. So I've got one being one and one being the other, and they'll be able to be operating at the same time. Or if I'm just doing this one, I can still be erasing with that hand as well. So you've got multiple inputs. That will be across the boards there. If your board does come with different pens at the front there, you'll be able to see those different pens do different things for your board as well. So I'm just going to click back onto my pens and see which different pens at the front here. Have a go, have a play with all of these. They really are worth having a bit of experiment with. I'm going to just start from the bottom. The shape recognition pen does recognize those shapes there, so you can actually see each one there. Or if you're looking at an irregular shape, it will make those for that as well. Moving further up, you've got a magic pen. The magic pen does make a spotlight with a circle. So it enables you to actually just focusing on that part of your picture, part of your lesson. Show that. If you hold the blue bit, it can change the size of it, or if you're holding the black bit, it moves the size of that there as well. If you're doing a square or rectangle, it will then just zoom into that particular section there. So you'll be able to see those key parts that you're looking into as well. And then anything else with the magic pen will just vanish after a set amount of time. If you want to change that, again, that's done in the settings there. Great for example, underlining key vocabulary, giving them a moment to look at it, and then they get on with their own, kind of without their answers in front of them there as well. A few other pens just to note on there is, for example, is the text pen. If you're writing that sentence there, it will then convert it to text. I'm then just going to change the colour of this one, make that slightly larger. And then within that text there, I can now, it recognises a text, and because this is now a text pen that I've changed to red, I can edit and improve this one here. So it might be, for example, if I draw an arrow there, I might be insert an adjective. Finger space by putting a line in it. And I can see that I haven't got a capital letter, so if I just circle that bit there, I can now see that that bit needs editing to be that one there. And I've got those and bit there. Maybe I want to get rid of the cat, so let's just put a meat line through it and insert. There we are. And I can really now edit and improve that text. You can see my original text was in black, and then as I changed my pen to a red text pen, then the edits were done in a red as well. Great way to really use that editor improving, actually seeing it with your students there as well. So moving down from engage, I'm just going to look at deliver. How can I really deliver to my students in a great way? We're going to look at dual page now. So in my page sorter here, I'm just going to scroll down and have this page. And this little one at the top here. It's like a screen with a magnifying glass in it. And from there, I'm just going to click on dual page display. And then moving through my lesson, I'm going to jump down to this content here. Now you can see I had this lesson here, and that was my poem that I can go through. I'm just going to click a highlighter pen. It might be that I'm highlighting different parts of this text here, and I've got that available to me here. But because I've got a dual page, I can have this as a highlighter, and then this bit here, I can put my notes into as well. So I've really got those two pages side by side, one where I can make annotations on, and the other one where I've got that poem to be able to continue to highlight within that as well. So it's a really good use of that dual display, dual display, that one there. And equally, I can then add a screen shade to it as well. So if I'm adding a screen shade, that was a button at the top there, I can move that down and actually read down the poem. Maybe if I just click on it, I can change it just to different colours if I want to have that as well. So some really good ways of actually supporting that delivery, and then just go back to full screen mode or single page display. Add in that screen shade again. And you can see maybe I just want to do it on a single page, and that obviously works for that as well. Moving down after we've looked at delivering, finally looking at sharing. How can I share this lesson with a colleague? If I click on File and Save, then that will just save it as a normal notebook file. From there, you can upload it to OneDrive or Google Drive or a memory stick or pass your teachers, anywhere you'd normally save it, and then share it with anybody via email, or obviously a link with your online storage as well, just by saving it like you would any other normal file as well. If you did want to export it, you can, so that it's able to print it off as a PDF or anything like that, but you can have it just straight as a notebook file, and then the other person can download that software and they can have exactly the same file working for them as well. If you want to share it to your account, you can click on File and Share. This will then upload this lesson into your Smart account, and it will be in your Lumio account for that as well. And of course, it'll be on the IQ part of the smart board itself. You'll be able to just share that and upload that to your account directly from there. And then you'll be able to pass that on to students if they've got a link straight from within Lumio. If you want to know more about that, look at the Lumio video, and it will show you a bit more detail about sharing directly from within Lumio as well. So that's really getting started in those 5 steps. Hopefully that's been useful, and that's very much looking at Smart Notebook. If you want to know more about Smart Lumio, Lumio by Smart, or using the IQ where you haven't got a connected Windows or Mac computer, then look at other one of the videos as well. Hopefully you found that useful. Thanks very much. Bye.